As I start this recording, I'm not entirely sure where it's going to end. But I had a thought, and it's an interesting one that I kind of don't know the answer to. So, in our modern world, we have a lot of pets. Cats, dogs. Some people have chickens. Somewhere in the Firefly universe, people juggle geese. Pets and domestication of animals is just something our civilization has always done. You know, I mean, with the start of civilization came the start of domestication. You know, we started farming animals. You know, we tamed animals to do work for us, like horses and ox and so on. And we often have this in our fantasy games. Quite often, you know, there'll be horses. Horses are kind of a staple. Excuse me, I did a video before on the 8-legged camel, where I made an argument for more exotic mounts. But I want to take that idea further, because it occurs to me that our worlds, the domestication of animals, has a much more varied bestiary in fantasy settings, and yet it's not just horses that remain the same, but other farm animals and domesticated animals. When did any of us last put a pet into a game? It's usually tied to one NPC, and it'll be quite often, actually, when we have done this, it'll be an exotic creature, but it'll be one NPC that has this pet that is statted. You know, it's something that's part of the fight. What about cats? You know, there will be other creatures as part of our society in a fantasy world that should be there, and they probably won't be cats. They'll probably be something else. And this is actually something that's maybe missing from the bestiaries, you know, in the sense that the irrelevantly, you know, not worth statting creatures don't exist. But why not? Why not? Why aren't we as GMs including pets in our games more often? And when we're going through these rural settings, I can think of only one game I ran where I really mixed up the domesticated animals. It wasn't the Brigade Con game where I ran Pokey D&D. It was which was a bit of a disaster, lots of technical problems. But when I did I ran the game beforehand, and it ran quite well in the test. It was only when I did the real thing it didn't work terribly. Anyway, I had all sorts of things from the Monster Manual that were domesticated, because in that whole game's vibe, it was this steampunk world where instead of steam it was monsters, because you had Poke Cubes. But that's it. I can't think of many other games I've run where I've had pets, and when I have, I think I've had an evil NPC that's with a basilisk or something, and I've had an adventure once in a menagerie for a crazy wizard, but I didn't have anything that was not worth fighting from outside of our existing world. Like, you know, it's rare enough to have an NPC that owns a cat or a dog, but what about birds in a cage? And what would those birds be in a high fantasy setting? And why not? It adds so much personality. And so many people have pets because, you know, they're wonderful. There are many merits to having a pet. You know, if you've got high blood pressure, get a cat. Save your life. But in our fantasy games, it doesn't... I mean, a cat would be a start, but we could really go to town being creative with this stuff, and it would add so much more personality to the NPCs that we interact with. So let's put some irrelevant fantastical animals in, yeah? I mean, why not? And this is the bit of the video where I take a, oh, I didn't run the graphics! Oh my god! It's not running. Anyway, that's all. Bye.